Can you guys hear me now? YouTube? Yeah, you guys can hear. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure. Yesterday, my camera had issues. Today, the audio. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? But we're all good to go. Let me just post the Telegram link and let's get started because we lost maybe 15 minutes of valuable time here. So let's get, just give me 1 second to get situated and we'll get back into this. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay, welcome guys. Thank you guys for joining. Sorry about that delay. Yesterday I had issues with my camera. Today it's issues with the audio, but we're good to go now. So as long as everyone can hear me, Zoom, you guys can hear me, YouTube, you guys can hear me. Are we all good? Everyone okay on YouTube? And Zoom. Okay, so Zoom is good. YouTube, are you guys good? Are we ready? Sorry for that. Okay, so let's get back into this. So number one thing is I was just going over right over here, this brokerage I'm using right now. I'm giving you guys heads up. So for transparency, I'm using Fintura. It's right here, F-Y-N-T-U-R-A. If you want to read a little bit about them, I don't want to go over all about this because we lost some time here, but check them out, guys. Use this. Sign up with a demo account, test them out. You've got some spreads, raw spreads from 0. Commissions per lot sizing goes from $2 per lot, and it fluctuates with the security you're trading. You can have up to 1 to 500 leverage. I don't recommend using full leverage unless you have experience and know what you're doing. Lots of instruments you can trade, from forex, indices, metals, crypto, and this is live right now, so you can see their spreads and things like that. But this is why I like it, because I like trading off of mobile. I like trading off of desktop. If you have desktop, MT4, MT5, you see some brokers, some prop firms are getting away from it, but this one, Fintrader still has it. And I'm also a mobile trader, so I do like that I can use my MT4 on my phone. And so just guys, if you want to look into this, look into it, please. But I don't want to spend too much time onto this because we've got to get into the charts. Really quickly, Forex Factory, guys. Okay, I'm gonna talk fast now because we lost about 15 minutes with that delay. So I'm gonna start getting into this, guys. Hopefully you guys can keep up with me, and I'll be going. So today is Tuesday, January 23. We've already had some European news come through the markets. Today is one of those days where there's not a lot going on right now. It's mostly after hours and it's more in the Tokyo session. You have some AUD, JPY, NZD news. It's not gonna affect us in any way. Tomorrow, guys, so I want to go over tomorrow. I'm not going to go over the whole week, but tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow is the really big day, starting all the way from London. You can see all the European red folders, from French manufacturing to German manufacturing to British manufacturing. There's a lot of, if you're trading London, okay, this will be with Shahab, make sure you guys are please trading with proper risk management when you do London. Tomorrow, as we get into Wall Street, 9:45 right here, we have some Canadian news, the Bank of Canada Monetary Policy Report, and our rate statement over here. I'm in Canada, so right now it looks like they're pausing it. What they're forecasting. We'll see the actual number that comes out. In my opinion, I think they're gonna pause. I don't see them increasing yet until maybe the next until the next bank meeting, which is in March. So I can see just a pause tomorrow, and maybe US will follow next week with Powell and the FOMC. We do have this flash manufacturing tomorrow, and Bank of Canada press conference at 10:30. Also, crude oil traders, make sure you know that there's crude oil inventories coming out at 10:30 tomorrow morning, okay? So continue to move over, guys, really fast into earnings today. Here's Earnings Whispers, free website, use it. It's very helpful. It's got a lot of good information. Tuesday, There's 23 pre-market. We've already had them. They've already had Verizon. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of Verizon telecommunications. They had reporting. 3M is a big company over here. So 3M, General Electric, GE. So you see Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Lockheed Martin. They're a big defense stock. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing, General Dynamics. You can see these are all big ones, especially in wartime. If you do trade these individually with equities or options, Halliburton, things like this. This is why when you learn a little bit more about stocks and options, you can really follow where the liquidity is moving around the world, and then follow individual securities when you really start to learn stock and option program. And then also for us that are trading indices, some of you guys are trading S&P 500, some of you guys are trading US30 Dow Jones, some of you guys are trading Nasdaq. Make sure you take your education a little bit above and beyond and know exactly what is comprised of the index you're trading, and then you can look at what corporations, what day they have earnings, because it might affect the volume that you're trading, and can make you a much better trader once you know everything that's going on, what it's comprised of. After hours, click this toggle switch. Now it will give us in after hours. Big one here, guys, Netflix. This one is huge. Okay, so Netflix is a big one right at 4 p.m. So I'm going to be done this call just after 3 o'clock, so I got to go pick up my kids. But if you guys are trading in Power Hour, and notice here, 4 p.m., right at the close of Wall Street, you have Netflix reporting right away. So they're a big company. If you are trading, make sure you are aware that Netflix is reporting. There's Texas Instruments, Intuitive Surgical. I used to trade this one back in the day. And CNI, Canadian National Railway. But lots of earnings, guys. Lots of earnings. But pay particular attention to Netflix right over here, okay? And continuing to move forward, guys. Just real quickly, let's just see if any signals came out. Did we get any signals? Maybe we'll get, just check out here, any signals for indices. Okay, there was one here, long NASDAQ right over here. This is the chart. So this area, NASDAQ, guys, if you're still watching, 17,363. It's already having an impulse move of 20 pips. Maybe if there's a pullback, look for this area right here. And let's see over here, and commodities, gold selling right here from this level 2025. We'll watch and see. We'll update it right now, okay? And guys, this is really quickly the free Telegram channel. I've linked it at the top of YouTube. Almost 100 viewers on YouTube. Please, guys, take the time to subscribe to this. It's got a lot of useful information. This is trading from our EA MQL5 right over here, expert advisor, making some good gold trades, trade signals, guys. We send out signals here, the way how they're sent out before and after, so you guys can get more familiar with these. If you do decide to join the team, we try to give a little bit back here. This is our weekly schedule, so if you're wondering when we go live on YouTube and Zooms, you get it here. And then there's promos and giveaways and all kinds of members, testimonials, and things like that. Okay, so enough talk. Let's get into the charts. I want to get right into the candlesticks right here. I'm starting really quickly, guys. Let's go to US30. I've got US30 on Bookmap. This is the 5 minutes, guys. If you are in a little bit of a buy, it is breaking out. It's holding right here, support. We'll see if it can continue to push up. But remember, overall, it is still bearish coming down from Wall Street over here. So I'm going to start off with the daily. Guys, I apologize if I'm talking very fast. Nolan, it's pinned at the top of the YouTube channel, is the free Telegram. Okay. Guys, am I talking too fast for you? Do you want me to slow it down? It's just time wise. We lost about 15 minutes with the little audio issues. So and I can go till, I'm gonna try and stretch it till like 3:10 today. But the weather is really bad. I got late there yesterday picking up my kids. We've got a snowstorm, like rainstorm, freezing ice. It's very dangerous driving over here. But this is the daily, guys. Okay, so most of you guys that are trading either NASDAQ, S&P, or Dow Jones, any American index, is we're hitting all-time highs. You know, it's very, very bullish on daily, on weekly, on monthly. There is some red candles coming down, but they're just continuing to go back up. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the volume from the last few days. So starting right here, Thursday of last week, this is kind of when it bottomed out. So we've got a nice little pivot point right here. So I'm drawing a big green box on the daily right here, and I'm going to continue to move forward, looking where our supply is. So yesterday, trading yesterday, Monday, the start of the week, we had our a new all-time high, 38,110. And you can see today we opened up, it came up, and it's a lower high pushing down. So what we're going to do is we're going to identify yesterday's high wick and today's wick and make a red box very similar and bring it across. Okay, so if you guys want to follow with me, you guys are more than welcome to follow and draw these zones. And but some of you guys already have your charts done and just ready to get in, and maybe I can help confirm some areas with you guys. But you guys see what I just did there? Nothing crazy, nothing spectacular. All I did was catch the bottom right here. You can see that this red bar on Wednesday, December 20, we came down, but it was quickly gobbled up the next day and pushed for a new high. We came back down here where kind of two wicks rejected off this green box, and we continued to push, but no real new highs. And then it came back down, and again, there's like tweezer bottoms in the green box, and then we pushed out of here last week and the start of this week. And now we're going to see maybe if we rotate down, where could we come down to? Maybe if we find some support, maybe we'll be breaking above here for some new all-time highs around 38,200. So let's follow now yesterday and today's daily candle. So Friday, we closed right here Friday, and then over the weekend they gapped the market up, and then it came down and almost filled the entire gap, but then it went right back up. We took out Friday's high, and we had a new all-time high yesterday, and then it sold off and it closed right here. So we still have a little bit of green volume from yesterday, and then today we opened up and it came bullish, but that's our high of the day, 38,020. So at the high of the day, I'm going to place a purple line up here, purple, and that is our high of the day up here. Okay, and make note of today's high. It is lower from yesterday's high, and it is a lower high. Okay, and then the sellers pushed it right back down to where we opened, and they continued selling. It was bearish, bearish, bearish. You know, when we got to 50% of yesterday's candle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a yellow line at the 50% point of yesterday's volume, open close. There's half of it, and it's kind of conveniently located with that wick. So I'm just going to place a line there, and I'm going to make it yellow. So guys, I don't have time to do the legend and the set and writing everything today, but we'll do this on another call. I did it all the last few weeks, but purple is the high of the day. Yellow is other critical daily point of interest. So a point of interest for me was the 50% of yesterday's bullish volume. And we continued to come down where it was sellers, 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 and then we came to where we opened yesterday. So I'm going to place another yellow line because that's a critical point in the market. That's where they gapped it up and they opened it right there. And we continued to sell down where it was red. We took out yesterday's low, we filled this gap, and we started to trade into this big candle on Friday. So it came down red, 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 and it stopped right there. 37,785. So I'm going to place a purple line right here. Okay, so we're putting a purple line right here. And guys, are you following with me? So now we came down, and so what I look for now is 50% of this big bullish candle on Friday, 50% of the volume. Okay, so it opened and it closed right here. And I'm going to look for 50% of it. Okay, so if I'm going to look to place another yellow line, I'm going to look to place another yellow line. That's about half of it. Okay, so now I want to make a reference point at this area by drawing a green box, a little bit above, a little bit below, because it's not going to just, maybe it might come exactly right there, but I want to give it a little bit plus and minus above. So what I use is, like, see these three bodies of volume? I'm gonna capture those three bodies of volume. You see, guys, pay attention to this point, because this is where everyone asks me, Ron, how do you define the size of the box you're going to put above or below? Look at what I just did there, okay? So you see how I just, don't look at the red color, just look at the box. Do you guys see how I just captured this volume right here, this volume and right there? Now, let's just kind of do the same size box below us, right there. And then now I'm stretching it across, and with the volume above, if it comes back down here, it's going to be green, okay? Do you guys understand what I just did there? I'm trying to explain this really quickly, but at your pace, guys. Do you understand? Like, I do this a lot faster if I was trading by myself, but I'm just trying to explain to you guys how I do this, because I don't normally just guess how big the box I'm going to do. I look at a little bit of volume, like right here, from my point of interest line. There's a volume body right there, a volume body right there, a volume body right there. I bring it down to my interest line, the yellow line, and then I do the same exact opposite going down, and then I bring it across, okay? Hopefully it makes sense, guys. It might be confusing to some of you guys, but with more and more practice, you'll understand exactly what I mean by this. And then also this area, see the wicks at our purple line? Okay, so we got some reference points here. See, when we came up here, it impulsively went down. We came up again and it impulsively went down. We came up again and we went down. And today we hit in there. So same thing, this green box is below us. It's pending, it's not active yet. We have more of an active area right over here. So I'm gonna do the same thing. With the purple line, I'm gonna look at those wicks, and I'm gonna use those wicks as reference for a box, okay? See what I just did right there? So I use my purple line, and then I use the wick as a reference, and that wick as a reference, and I bring it across. If I did this a little earlier, like if we started the call, see how we came right into this point of interest area, this box, and then it pushed right back out of here, okay? But it may come back down into this box, and if we break, maybe we'll fill this little zone coming down there, and then we might get that many pips coming right down. So with this green box, bring it across. Now I'm trying to consolidate it more on the daily. So now we're consolidating. We got a flag now where it's green and red in here. It might come up green, it might go down red. If we start maybe closing with red volume on the daily below here, we might start to penetrate 50% of this green candle and start to drop down here. If the buyers can hold this position, then maybe we're going to come back up later today or tomorrow. Okay, so guys, that's the daily analysis for my scalp grid. Does that make any sense? Is there some confusion? I apologize for talking fast. I know it's 1:30 right now. Oh, Blair's here. Okay, he's texting me. 1 second, guys. Yoda is texting me. A lot going on, guys. A lot going on right now. Holy. Okay, so Ron's brother from another mother. Okay, so that's you. Okay, Yoda, hold on. You can unmute.
What's up?
Hey, sorry, bro. It's busy here because when we started the YouTube, the audio wasn't working. Yesterday, the camera wasn't working. So I'm just trying to do this. With Yoda on the call, guys, we're gonna do NASDAQ. Okay. Let me just Blair. Let me just finish this US30 real quick, and then we'll do. I'll chart NASDAQ and you talk about it. Okay. Or you just talk about what's going on in the markets, and I'll do my charting. But I'm on the hourly now, guys, so I moved to the hourly. Look at our hourly candles, okay? So you can see how slow the Asian session is. Remember last 2 weeks we were doing Tokyo? Look at Tokyo, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., that's the futures market open up Tokyo. 8, 9, 10, like look at how shitty it moves. And then you get into those hourly moves. 3 a.m. is London. So that's when injection of volume. When's the next injection of volume? 8 a.m. You know, there's news, there's COMEX, there's then the next one is Wall Street, and here's the move. So we are pushing down on the hourly. It is making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Now we're finding a little bit of a bottom down here on the hourly where we're consolidating. So look at our hourly candles. They came up, wick, a wick, and a wick, and going down. So what we need to do is look at this big red body at 10 a.m., open, close. Where's half of it? Half of it is right around there, right? That's half, okay? But I'm going to use the yellow line as a reference, and to draw a red box, I'm going to use the yellow line and maybe bring it down to where those red wicks are, okay? And then now that's my hourly kind of supply. So you can see that the market is pushing down. It's coming right into here. It might trade right back into here and go back down. If we've got hourly volume that can close maybe above here and we flip this red box green, then maybe we will retrace back up and push back up. But right now we have to respect that the selling pressure from London is pushing down. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower high. This might come down, elevator coming back down. Now for scalping, okay, this is a big zone in here. Maybe I kind of want to maybe tighten it up. So I see the two bodies, a body and a body. And for hourly, I use a white line. So I'm going to place a white line right here. And that's my hourly support. I see that the hourly candle came all the way down there, but remember 60 minutes, and then it came all the way back up and it closed right there. The next hour came down at noon into the green box. It's a higher low and came up really strong. Couldn't take out that high and closed right there. Now this hourly candle has 24 minutes left on it. We opened, it came up green again, but there's kind of tweezer highs at that wick right there at 11, and then they pushed it right back down and we're coming right back up. So an hourly point of interest is right here. 50% of this big green candle, half of it is right there. And you see how it lines up with like this body right there? So now, if I get some lower time frame volume closing below this white line, I might look to sell to take it down to this white line. And if you can't do the math in your head, 850 and 830, that's 20 pips. If you can't do it in your head like that, reading the tape or the white lines, then just get your ruler from TradingView or MT4 or any platform, and you can kind of measure it. It's actually 17 pips. 20 if it kind of breaks a little bit more. If it can come down to the green box, we're looking at 30. If it can tap into that low right there, 35. And then if it comes in test the low of the day, could be a 50, 60 pip move, okay? But and now I'm kind of just trapping it more and more and more. And then I look at the overall move right now. It's bearish, clearly bearish on the hourly. This could be where the hourly volume consolidates in here, and it could be forming a flag. And it could be a bearish flag where it's just trading in here, and a bearish flag has a high probability of continuing to sell down into here. It might come back up, it might test this area and maybe pull back, and maybe, who knows, maybe it develops a double bottom with a higher low or here, and then it gets strong, and then we're breaking out in the next few hours back above here, okay? So we just got to take it from the daily to the hourly, and now I'm going into the lower time frame, 5 minutes, so then we can hear Yoda speak over here. So these are the 5 minutes right over here. This is the entire hourly consolidated zone, this neutral area. But see how I make my 5 minute little zones? Like if I was scalping a 5 minute candle, you guys know the way how I scalp. This candle that kind of came up, ignited from here, it kind of broke this white line. Sometimes I take that buy right there, and then I place my stop loss below there, and I take the volume right up to the next white line. I know it might not look like a big move for you guys, but for scalpers who are scalping and just want in and out with minimal to no drawdown, that's about 15, 16 pips. If you learn what we did yesterday to hold it, remember, mark 50% of this 5 minute candle, about half of it. So when it opened, it came down red, 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 but stopped right there. It's still above 50%, short wick, and then it popped and came up there, and you could have got an additional pips. Now, on the 5 minutes, you see where we're consolidating? We're consolidating at this hourly white line, and the volume is still staying above here. So to get rid of this, now we use, what I can do is trap all the 5 minutes in this little tight area right here. And if I don't feel comfortable trading this garbage area, if I don't want to trade in here, then I wait for maybe some red volume to close below here and push back down, or we see if the buyers can continue to accumulate and maybe start to break it through here, okay? Does that make sense, guys? And if you want to trade in this zone, again, you know it's about approximately 15 to 20 pips from the bottom to the top, 20 pips, okay? So whether you're selling, it can come down 10, 15, 20, and then you got to make a move. If you're buying back up, it can come up 10, 15, 20, then you got to make a decision, okay? And I'll give you guys this chart. Yoda, what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot, brother.
How's trading?
Trading, we've been in a 41-hour chop session.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, not a whole lot going on. To be honest, like, you know, when you break all-time highs, what you want to see is consolidation above the previous all-time high. because the consolidation allows one, the oscillators to cool down, um, allows new money to enter on potential dips, old money to exit out of positions. But the reality is, right now we've just been in a chop fest, and we have tech earnings coming. So, it will Netflix be the first one to kind of set the tone
Yeah, I
for
was just
what's to
going to ask you
come?
about Netflix. What do you think about
It's
Netflix?
Netflix is one of those ones that, because Netflix relies on subscriptions, right? Netflix relies on streaming, potential ad services, but they're solely based on subscriptions. But then tomorrow you have Tesla. Tesla has been acting negatively towards this recent push. Like Tesla's been down, I think like 5 or 6 weeks in a row now, and it's not going with the flow of Nasdaq. And it makes you wonder what's the deal. And a lot of it's due to news, like Elon Musk, wanting 25%, voting shares. But Tesla could be the name that triggers the next leg to the upside, because if Tesla reports phenomenal earnings, for all we know, these past few weeks have just been loads of institutions buying shares, options, etc. To the point where Tesla, has a 10 to 15, percent uprise, which breaks this, 41-hour chop session, right? So it's hard to gauge right now. Right now, it's just purely consolidation chop. Like right now, we're trading at today's volume area, which is no surprise. It's just floating around it. Like there's been, I think, about a 50 to 60 point swing on, on the range. So not a whole lot going on. Obviously, semiconductors have been the talk of, the last few months. They've been pushing the entire market. I think they've been up 8% as a sector as a whole, led by Nvidia, AMD, Broadcom. So those names itself are cooling down, but it's allowing Apple, for example, to push back up. Apple was at 180, now 195. Apple just released their pre-orders for the Vision Pro thing. They already sold out pre-orders, 80,000 units at 3K a pop. Like that's an easy 280 million for Apple in an instant, right? So, some questions were looming regarding the Vision, but since then they've been up with an upgrade up $15. So it's kind of provided some of the some of the momentum that the Nasdaq has been seeing too. So there's a lot of names that are kind of cooling down, pumping up, but I think the key name is going to be Tesla, and we won't find out until tomorrow after our hours. So
Yeah,
right now
look
it's
at our daily candles. Like, look at this is Nasdaq. Sorry, guys, I'm charting Nasdaq as Yoda is speaking here. But look at these things. Like, what's going on with this volume? Look how thin it is. Are we waiting for Netflix and Tesla? Is that what the and the news tomorrow? Big news.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for Tesla, but another name that's going to strike a lot of attention will be Amazon. Amazon right now, between their last all-time high and where it's at right now, it's its longest stretch between days from posting an all-time high. So I think Amazon may be kind of like the big push to kind of keep the trend going. Um, do I see a pullback? Eventually, I do see a pullback. How big of a pullback? I don't know. A lot of things have been floating around. They may wait for Apple earnings. They may wait for Nvidia earnings, given Nvidia is kind of like the market darling. AMD reports next week too. AMD could be one of those names that kind of brings down the semis as well. Um, so it's you got to kind of now kind of just pay attention. There's a range that's very easily established. Some people have issues trading this type of environment because they're not used to seeing all-time highs. So what do you do in all-time highs? One, you need to establish, Fibonacci's is a good example. You can use the Fibonacci's, use the 61.8 mark as a point of resistance. Moving averages. Moving averages will give you a lot of indication what's happening below, because the moving average has to cool off too. So you can always find support levels with those moving averages. But right now, we're just in a pure consolidation. It's no surprise. You can trade the consolidation up and down. I don't see there being anything major today until Netflix reports. But it could be a wash. We don't know. Netflix doesn't have a big stake in Nasdaq, but it's a name that still brings a lot of attention because of, excuse me, who they are. But I still think Tesla. We have PCI on Friday. PCI is a key component when it comes to macro fundamentals, the economy, because it impacts inflation. Inflation is done. All the talk about inflation is done. The focus now is on interest rate cuts and hikes and keeping things cool. If you look at the Fed's probability website, that changes daily, and those change based on what's happening in the broader market with DXY, TNX, which is a 10-year yield. Those are defining the market. So if you need some confluence when it comes to trading indices, look at DXY, look at TNX, because those names are usually acting inversely to the indices. So right now, range, established a range. The range is pretty clear. You have, the high of around 560. The low on the range is about 430. So you have a 130-point range. You can kind of condense it, between 500 and 440 right now. But we're trading at today's volume action. Like right now, it's right at the point of control. There's nothing really happening. I'm just looking at the other names that may kind of push it, but I don't see anything happening today, to be honest.
Good analysis. Okay, guys. So yeah, look at US30. Okay, it's breaking out of this resistance right now. I've seen some offers get pulled out, but you got to be careful, okay? Because got a lot of red volume coming down on US30. So yes, the buyers are strong, but they're going to start to transact into this area. So I'm going to just wait for this body to close. It's 3.5 more minutes. It's a new 15-minute candle. It's 1:45 p.m. Eastern right now. Let's see if we got some green volume closing above here. Maybe it might come up. Maybe it gets rejected and come back down. I like to know, guys, is anybody in a buy right now? Is anybody selling for US30? For US30 first, and then we'll talk about Nasdaq. Nasdaq is just right inside here. But for US30, everybody on YouTube or Zoom, is anybody in a buy right now? Yeah. Lady Stone, Sarah, you're buying? Good. Just close the Gabriel, no problem. Close with some profit, it's good. I love pizza. I love pizza too. You're in? Man, I want some pizza right now.
So speaking of US30, 3M today, for example, reported earnings, right? You mentioned that.
Yep.
They're down 11%, which is $12. So $12 represents about 72 points on Dow Jones, right? You know what some traders do with that information, because it's skewed information, because sometimes equities don't translate into the actual supply and resistance spot for US30. And this is kind of thinking outside the box, guys. This is something you want to do kind of outside normal time. But what they would do is take that 72 points and take it out of the equation, right? Because sometimes it's skewed data that's not factored into the actual supply and demand of the actual indice itself, because it's before hours or after hours information that's only related to one equity. So if you eliminate that information, you may actually get a better sense of where supply and demand could be, and you can kind of gauge it here and there. But that's more of like an advanced move, something that I've played around with many years. Try it out. It's more about learning how indices move, because US30 is very unique, but something you can always kind of, learn on your own. But use that kind of analogy with skewed data, because skewed data can kind of give you a different, weakness when it comes to the supply or demand of certain zones.
Okay, so very bullish, guys, very bullish. Do you guys see see the heat here? See how they're pulling them out of the market? So it allows the volume to just continue to push right through here. Buys are looking good. Trailing stop losses, guys, okay? And when this body closes, we're going to locate 50% of it for any pullbacks, okay? Very big bullish. Let's see if it can come all the way up. But that's our point of interest, yellow line up there. There it goes, all the way to 37,900. And when it taps up there, look at, there were equal highs up there, and that's our yellow point of interest. So this is a critical area, and it just broke. And now I'm going to place a red box right here, because this used to be an area of support right there on the 5 minutes, bringing it across and making it red right now. So that's going to be a target up there. If it comes all the way up to that red box, guys, you got to make a decision. Either break evens, trailing stop losses, or start to secure partial position, because that's where we might see a big block come in the market and absorb all of this green volume and then start to maybe sell it back down. But cumulative volume is above 1,000 right now on US30. Very, very strong, okay? And we'll see where the volume will close. So here's 4 seconds. It busted out of there, had a higher high, and got rejected. Now where will it close? So 50% of the green volume that's left, open close, I'm bringing this red line up. That's about half of it right there. And if it pulls back, if it comes down red, we want to see if the buyers will step in right here and hold 50%. Majority volume. 51% is majority. Like if we're voting, 51% is majority. So 50 to 51% is majority volume. So that's what we're looking for, to see who will hold majority volume. Maybe it doesn't even come down here. Maybe it's just a small little pullback and then it continues to get bid right back up. But the size of the wick, remember we were talking about yesterday, is it a short wick? Is it a long wick? And NASDAQ is slowly creeping up to, coming right up to maybe the top of the red box as well. Okay, and now we're above the VWAP. We've been above the VWAP, but this area that was resistance here, now this area, 38,050, you see how we have 48 bids? If it does come down here, we want to see if this area will act and hold. I can see some heat already developing at the yellow line and below us. So if it does come down here, we've got some bids in the market. Guys, hit the likes for Yoda joining the call. He doesn't always, a busy man. The man is filled with knowledge and giving nuggets to all of us today. But he knows more than anybody that US30 is more superior than NASDAQ.
I'll leave the stream.
He can't trade Ms. Jones.
US30 is the slowest thing out there.
Oh man, I love it for scalping. This thing,
So you know, it's good for scalping if you have a large dollar or a funded prop firm account. For low dollar accounts, I would say like S&P 500. It depends what you're trading. If you're trading contract for derivatives as opposed to option accounts or futures accounts, that's a little bit different because you have a different account. You're playing with a different margin.
I'm just playing, guys. It's just US30. I love it. I've been trading it for a long time, and I'm really comfortable with how it moves. I just personally, I can trade NASDAQ no problem, but I love the way scalping 1 minute candles, the way how US30 moves. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just love the way how this thing moves. It's perfect for in and out pipping and dipping. It's excellent for that.
Though, right? That's the thing, though, right? It depends on like the kind of account you're in, right? That's the thing. If it works for large dollar accounts, I would say majority of the time.
But look how clean NASDAQ bars are. Like they're very clean, nice full body, short wicks, ignited bar, continuing to pop.
Yeah, I'm trading the Russell right now.
Yeah, the Russell, man. Yeah. When's that thing gonna start moving?
So that's why I think outperforms the entire market this year is the Russell.
Yeah.
I think small caps will have that large bounce back this year.
Mm-hmm.
And Chinese stocks too.
Tony, SP 500 is your new girlfriend for 2024. Hopefully you have a long-lasting relationship with her. But I will never divorce Miss Jones. She's been here since day one. She's been through everything with me, and she's still here. Hopefully my wife doesn't hear this. Or else you're not going to see Ron on YouTube anymore. No, she knows Miss Jones. Oh my God, look she's calling me on the phone right now. I swear to God. She's calling me. I'm not answering it, guys. She's probably like, what the hell are you saying on there? I answer all of my mom's calls, but her, I just hung up on her. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear it. I'm trading. I'm in a trade. Okay, so just getting back to focus here. The yellow line was our point of interest. We have no 5-minute volume closing above it yet. We've pierced it. We had an impulse break. It pulled back. We're still holding above 50% of that big green bar, but now it's kind of consolidating in this area. So we'll see if it consolidates in here, picks up more volume. We're very, very, very close to 2 o'clock in the next 5 minutes. So maybe we wait to see the new hourly 2 o'clock candle. Remember, most securities, the 2 p.m. candle is also a very important 4-hour candle on some securities that you guys are trading. So it brings in a lot of volatility and a lot of momentum. So if you're in buys, it could go in your direction and give you a little bit more. But also remember that momentum can change and come back down. But right now, it's bullish, ignited. Let's see if it can take out that high right now. While it's ignited, it's got the volume when it opens, but it just has to fill that wick. And if it can, maybe try to pop up to this red box right up here, if it can. But it's trying. Remember, we got a break for a new high. It's trying. See how it's coming up right now? This 38,080. Let's see if it can pull some of these offers. See how it was 18, 14 right now, red 14. See, now 15 and then 13. The next tick down, the offers came down. So now they're taking out these 8 bids. They take out those 8 bids, it's going to go down to the next tier. So they're transacting in that where that 8 is. Now it turned 9 red. So you can see that the sellers are currently absorbing the buyers. See how they're pulling it down now? They're taking out all the bids right now. And you see how now above us, the 38,080 is populating with 18, 15, 12. So you can see that the sellers are kind of controlling the depth of market currently right now. Because I know a lot of you guys just look at the bubbles, like the size of the bubbles, but we got trapped liquidity up here. We got trapped buyers in here and trapped buyers up here. They represent the wicks on these candles. Okay, and then you see now it got rejected. Did it make a new high? No. You know what we were talking about the other day? Like equal highs, tweezer top, so it's very, very close to like equal highs. It came up, pushed down, came up again, could not break. Now it's a big bearish engulfing candle coming down and to test our 50% of our previous green candle. And we have just less than 3 minutes to go in going into 2 p.m. Okay, so no green volume closed above that critical yellow. I don't know if you guys can see it, but critical yellow line there. I'll get rid of this big red box. Maybe that's what's confusing you guys. Okay, and then now, like if you kind of want to trap where the volume is now, use your yellow line for reference, or you can go to the top of the wicks. I use always my reference points and the 50%. And I box it in, and I see now how the volume will trade in here. If you're not in a trade or not looking for a trade yet, we're speculating, we're watching, we're spectators, like in a football game. Blair, who you got for the Super Bowl? I got Baltimore, San Fran, and Lamar Jackson to win it all.
I got Eminem versus Taylor Swift.
They showed Taylor Swift more than they showed the Josh Allen and Mahomes in that game.
Dude, I'm a big fan of Jason Kelsey now.
Yeah, he was crazy there.
So 1 p.m., I didn't take a look at this myself, but 1 p.m. we had the 2-year auction note come out. So I think that's what the little pop was related to at 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
We had the 2-year auction. So obviously the yields, the bond market drives the indices, right? So.
Okay, so 1 minute, guys. Look at the wick. Did the wick come down to exactly 50% of that candle? I think it did. So, you know, guys, if you're holding trades and you're trying to maximize it, we had this question. How can I hold trades longer than 10 or 15 or 20 pips? Well, this is how you got to teach yourself to do this. You got to... Is the volume always going to cooperate with you? Not always, but some days when it cooperates, you can kind of maximize more of a move. So when you got a big body candle, always just locate half of it, okay? Just half of it. And then you see exactly how it came down to the halfway point. And that's why sometimes when I trade, where I place my stop loss is at 50% or just a little bit below. And then you can start to learn how to trade with a very, very tight stop loss if you can nail your entries with minimal to no drawdown. And then you go directly to a break even and you're good to go. You've taken out all the anxiety out of the trade. You've taken out everything. You're at a safe trade. Anytime I go to a break even trade, I'm good. I don't care what happens after the fact because I know I can't lose any of my capital. I'm okay with that. Worst case scenario is a break even. Okay, so here we go. 2 p.m. Again, we closed right near that yellow point of interest daily line. So we gotta, let's see now. Can they pump it out of here and just break these two equal high wicks and come straight to this red box? And that was previous 5-minute support where the volume was held. And then coming across, it's a red box. And look, it's almost 50% of this big red candle coming down. Open close of that, halfway is right there. There's our support line. Bring it across, and we'll see if maybe there's a little bit still of upside momentum that can come and transact in there. And then our 200 EMA is this purple line just right above it. But right now, again, 3 highs all equal, got rejected. So it's going to push back down, and we got to see if we can continue to pick up our bids, strengthen the depth of market. Cumulative volume delta is very, very positive, over 1,000. So there's a lot of buyers that are still accumulating this move. And these red candles could be possible pullbacks, but if red volume closes below here, then it could potentially sell a little bit further down. So this is where now I draw like a green box here. I do this kind of for you too, guys, visually, so you can see that this could be an area of a green box support. Unless we get red volume that closes below here, then it may push down and come down, maybe down to this area. And NASDAQ is still just consolidating inside here. No real big movement in NASDAQ, just from the green to the red and hanging around right here.
SPX looks a little bit better. Nice little inverse head and shoulders, which kind of kickstarted the move. But now there's a little cup and handle, I would say. But to your point, I think they're all going to be collectively looking to try and break a neckline at the same time. If not, retest it, test it. So I think we got about a few little minutes until we get a decision on resistance break or resistance rejection.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. Like, indices collectively speak to each other right now. First 30 minutes, they may go up and down, completely opposite of one another. Throughout the day, you'll see that collective movement because they're all kind of speaking the same language. The markets are moving together. Money's flowing, where it needs to be flowing. So right now, kind of use all the indices if you need confluence to see what's actually happening.
Okay, so you see, like as soon as we opened at 2 o'clock, see kind of how the momentum kind of switched to selling pressure now. Okay, but that doesn't mean that everything is going to break down. We got to watch this 50% level. Okay, it could just come down, could pick up a wick and go back up, pick up the bids and come back up. This is the consolidation. This is where the market is just trading sideways, and we'll see someone is from this little zone here is going to get squeezed out of the market. If it starts to sell off down here, these last few buyers, depending on how tight their stop loss is or how much drawdown they want to hold, they'll probably get stopped out down here. If it comes back up green and we break through here, well, these sellers will get kind of stopped out of the market because their stops will be up here. And if you don't feel comfortable trading right now, again, sidelines and just wait it out. Blair, question for you. How do you distinguish like volume that you're going to trade? Like, you're very patient, you're disciplined. How do you decide? Like, is this volume that you're going to trade today? What do you tell yourself? Are you going to, like, what are you looking for when you're trading? What type of clues, signals, volume? What are you looking for?
So I love to use volume profile or market profile to kind of get a sense of where the main value area is for the current day, but then see where the previous day areas are. Once I establish those areas, I know that this price point had this much volume action this much volume action, then I always wait if I'm hedging, during the, intraday trading. If I'm doing that, I wait 15, 30 minutes to develop an opening day range from 9:30 and 9:45, 10 o'clock. Once you get a sense of the range, then you kind of get a sense of, is it going to be a consolidation day or is it going to be a trend day? Because the market consolidates 80% of the time, where it trends 20% of the time. So, sorry, my wife is calling, but she can wait 2 minutes. So you want to be mindful of what's happening the prior days, because those tight ranges are just signs of consolidation, but you want to wait for that break, because those trend days are just next legs up, next legs down that you want to capture, because those moves can be pretty fast. So it's just about monitoring each day's previous actions and how things are coiling up. Like right now, we have 41 hours of chop. So the next move that we get will be a good trend day. I just don't know yet which direction, because we're waiting for, some sort of catalyst. So it varies, right? Not every day is going to be the same day. Not every opening is going to be the same. News may trigger that catalyst. Economic news may trigger the catalyst. Anything will trigger it. So it varies, but I always look at volume profiles, market profiles. I'll look at, like I use MACD, I use, stochastics to kind of get a sense of where things are on a day-to-day basis. I'll look for divergences to kind of gauge my momentum as well. But I would say, first and foremost, always see how the opening action is. And is it breaking consolidation, or is it still trading within consolidation? That way you kind of get a better sense of where the market's heading. Because you don't want to be, trading chop, 5, 10 point ranges. You want to be trading, decent ranges, because you want to get a good chunk of, meat on the bone, right? So some days are just, it just changes, right? So, but I always look at volume profile. It's a good tool. It kind of gives you a sense of where the key areas were traded, like similar to how you use Bookmap. It gives you the volume profile, the point of controls. It tells you where some of the volume is. That's the levels you want to keep an eye out. But I would say you have to study the prior days to see, is it consolidation? Where were the trend days? Where were the key events that kind of led to these markings? So there's so many tools. People have so many different ways, but first and foremost, I use volume profile.
Yep, perfect. Yeah, guys. So like always, the key thing is look back, look to the left, do a top-down analysis, see how the volume was trading yesterday, see how it was trading the day before, see how it was trading last week, and figure out those key critical areas where the volume is attracted to go and trade and have bigger moves. So right now, US30, okay, you see we didn't break anything above here, no volume closed above my yellow daily critical line here, and now it's pushing down. We'll see if this body can close down here in the next 2.5 minutes. What could happen is it could come right back up, and then we're looking for like a double top. So it's made one top up here, and this is like maybe one start of the pattern where it came up, back down, maybe a neckline down here. It may in fact come back up, but will it be like a lower high when it comes back up in 50% of that red candle? Will it come all the way up to that red box, and then it goes back down and it maybe sells off down like this? Okay, that's a possibility. That's a path it could go. Or this could just come right back up and it's a strong move, and we're continuing to push up and break through here, and then close, we flip this, and then all of a sudden it's shooting back up to there. So this is a very, very difficult candle to trade right here, because anything can happen. You can sell it, and yes, it can drop like how we did yesterday, but also if we sell, it could catch a wick and come right back in. So if you're guessing and you kind of don't know, then just wait till the body closes. This is kind of like my opinion. If you don't know to sell or to buy yet, just wait and let's see the actual candle where and how it will close. But if you do like take that sell, you got to understand, if you're taking it, you're going in before it closes and it's on an impulse. So then maybe just reduce your sizing down a little bit, just in case it reverses and puts you in a little bit of drawdown. Because if you go with a bigger size and it reverses on you, you could be in trouble. Because some of you guys might panic for, let's just measure how much is this zone. From there to those top wicks, 15 pips. I know some traders that panic when they're in drawdown of 15 pips because they're going too big for that trade. There's no reason you should be panicking if you're in 15 pip of drawdown, especially trading an index like US30. 15 pips is nothing. But let's see where this thing will close. And also Nasdaq, okay, it came up, back down. See the neckline, and then it came back up, and now it's coming back down. So will Nasdaq start to maybe get some red volume closing below here, or will it still hold and buyers bring it right back up? So here's the close on both of them, and we're closing on US30 right now. Got a little bit of volume down there. So let's see. So they closed it below. It's a red bar. If you flip your green to red quickly, like if you learn how to do this fast, now we're going to see if this red box will be absorbed, if it will absorb the buyers, and it's ignited, okay? It was an ignited bar come down, but it didn't take out that low. So that's kind of like a clue. It came down, but didn't take out the low. So it's a higher low, and now it's coming back up green. So now it's going to test 50% of that volume, or maybe it come up green, 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 and engulf that entire red bar, then we're back in the box. So then, therefore, there's no sell.
So I just came back. I had a banana while talking to my wife. So for example, today's volume area was that bounce that we have right now in NAS at 17.4, or actually, hold on, you and I are a little bit different. Around your 360, I'm 470. So your 360
right
was the volume area for today.
Yeah.
So that's the battle zone.
Yeah.
Bulls want to stay above it. Bears want to bring it back below. But that's the key value area of the most traded volume today on NASDAQ.
So you see, guys, how you can get faked out of a sell down there? Did you see the way how I explained that? So it came down red. We waited for it to close. And this one opened. And it came down red, red, red. But and it stopped. It didn't even feel that wick. So you got to be very cautious taking that sell. And then it came right back up, and then again locate 50%, and it started to come up and engulf the bar. So if you took a sell early, like right there on that red bar, you got caught. So that's a live example of getting caught on a trade. But if you waited for the full body to close and you analyzed how the next one opened, then you maybe did not sell and maybe possibly buy, or you're still waiting because it's right back in the consolidation box. Okay, does that help, guys, that explanation? Because we get asked this question 100 times per day. Ron, when do I take a trade? Is it an impulse? Is it a fake out? Is it this or that? If you don't know, wait for the body to close on all time frames, not just 5 minutes. If you're a 1 minute trader, wait for the 1 minute to close. If you're a 5 minute, wait for the 5. If you're a 15-minute trader, wait for that full 15 to close. If you're an hourly trader, wait for the entire 60-minute hourly candle to close to give you the guidance of how the strength or the momentum where it closes and where it's at. Same with 4-hour and daily. If you're a swing trader, you got to wait for those things to close, because if you're going in before it closes, every single one of those is an impulse move, and you have no idea how it will turn out unless you have good other confluences and you feel confident taking that trade. Okay, but you see how it's just in a range, like same with NASDAQ. Comes down, goes back up. Comes down, going back up. So this is like how Blair said, it's a very, very choppy, tight area. Yes, you can scalp inside here, but it's not the greatest. Like this is where we have to be, a little bit more cautious, a little bit more patient, and wait for some better volume. San Hadid, you are an encyclopedia in price action. You should publish a book. Maybe one day we'll publish a book, but right now, no time for anything. No time. Blair will publish a book for us. Is Yoda. He's the encyclopedia here.
The book about NAS.
Yeah. We'll do a book about US30 versus NASDAQ. Next time you're on the call, Yoda, we'll do SPY, SPX together.
That's fine. Shit, 1 second.
Did you guys want me to chart gold, or do you guys want me to stay with both of these indices? But if we do gold, guys, you guys have to watch these charts yourself, okay? Because I'll be off of them because I'll be looking at gold, and then we'll bring them all together where we'll have 3 charts on the screen like we did in the good old days. Okay, so guys, please, if you guys are watching this, there could be trades while we're doing gold, okay? So again, NASDAQ, I would be waiting for something to happen in this red box, same with this green. If it's just bouncing around in here, careful with it. US30, just be patient with it, watch how it's developing. So it came up again, lower high from over here. They pushed it right back down, but big green volume engulfed that bar. Now we'll see if red sellers again can push it down. So this is sometimes where you might be looking to take like an impulse sell. The way sometimes how candles develop before they close, okay? Because sometimes you see me when we're trading live, I'm taking a trade before the candle closes, but there's context behind it sometimes. Like how this one was red, it came up green, near the end they rejected it, and then if this opened like red and started coming down red, ignited red, 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 and started to engulf this bar, sometimes that might be a good time to maybe initiate a sell before it closes because it's already lower high, got rejected, and it's already engulfing. And then if you kind of take the sell on impulse right there, then you might get that drop. But there's also no guarantee on that play. It's just with practice. With practice, if you start to see more of these patterns, then you're going to get more used to them. Like I have some go-to patterns in my playbook that when I see these patterns, it's like my go-to every time because I know the probabilities of them and I can use them on any security. I can use them on any time frame because all candlesticks have the same characteristics. So if you make sure you learn at least 3 consistent patterns. You know, like for some of you guys, the basic patterns are like an M and a W. Some of you guys are getting really good and consistent with those. But then start to learn like what a 3-bar play is. Start to learn a little bit more and add that to your repertoire of your playbook of what you trade. And then you might start to get involved in a little bit more trading before candles actually close too. But if you're not sure, always, when in doubt, wait it out, okay? So the best thing to do is always wait for the entire candle to close, okay? And that will avoid everything. It will avoid all ifs, ands, or buts, woulda, shoulda, couldas, any impulse moves. Just wait for the body to close, okay? I will do gold, but I would just want to watch this candle as it closes right now. It's very, very interesting the way how it's coming down and maybe close down here. See the big pocket of liquidity right here on US30, this 38,040 area. See a lot of heat there, some heat at the VWAP. So maybe there's a lot of liquidity there. Sellers will want to maybe penetrate and sell it down into here. We'll see how this bar closes. So it is coming down. It came back up and got rejected with that lower high, closed with the green volume. But this bar is currently completely engulfing it. So if it can close down in here strong, then maybe another pullback of green, they trap them, and then maybe it could sell down. Adrian, gold is slow now. We'll still do gold, okay? Today was, we'll do gold. We'll also do 3 charts today. Okay, so it's red breaking down. It took out the low, so it has created a new lower low, but there's still this uptrend that's still pushing up, so it's trading into this. As it came down, created a low, it found the buyers, so you see they're asking to trade up here, they're bidding it up here, and that's what creates the wick on the candle. So it's coming right back up. Again, if you're waiting, let's wait for the full closure of the body of the candle. Guys, can we like the stream? Yoda came on, dropped some analysis with us. Thank you guys. Sorry about the start of the call. Yesterday my webcam wasn't working. Today the audio wasn't working, but we got it fixed. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Okay, so, and then also guys, the last 30 seconds of any time frame candle is very, very critical and very, very important. Last 30 seconds. Because it shows who has momentum going into the close and who will have momentum in the next bar as it opens up. So let's pay attention to how it closes in the next 15 seconds. Okay, so here's the close. So we kind of close right at this area where it's red, green, red. So we're kind of barcoding right at this area. So let's give the benefit of the doubt. It opened green. Let's see maybe if they can push it down red, but still it's hanging around here. Every time it comes down, it goes back up, comes down, goes back up. It might come down again a little bit and go back up, but it's an ignited red candle. It's below the red box. Okay, so it came down again, came down, but went right back up. It still has not broke that low wick. Now it trapped some buyers. I'm going to sell now. I'm going to go into a sell. I'm entering a sell. I'm in a sell right now, guys. I'm going to test this out to break this low wick. I'm going to place my stop loss. Like this is where you can get tight with your stop loss. You can just place it like above the red high. I'm going to go into the red box up there where there was those triple highs. Just kind of place it above there. I'm just looking at structure to the left. You can place it tight above that red bar, but you're susceptible to getting stopped out if you keep it tight in there. I'm going to keep it above there and give it some room to possibly breathe. Let the offers maybe absorb more and more buyers so that they can break maybe this critical 38,048 area and maybe start to drop it down. I see that they pulled some bids, so that's good for selling, but we really want to flood it down with some volume, and maybe if it can come down to the green box area. So I'm in a sell on US30. It has made lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lower low. But I want to see if it can get more and more red volume closing below here, and then maybe it will continue to absorb buyers and maybe push through here. Okay.
Back again. Excuse me. For my curiosity, I wanted to see what the value area is today on US30, and you're 38. Hold on, that's my YM. You got about 14 points above value area right now.
So 2 more minutes to go, and then right after this candle closes, then we'll do an analysis on gold. The reason why I don't trade gold like this, like in the afternoons, is because COMEX closes at 1:30 p.m. So I don't really watch it when COMEX is closed. I like to trade gold more COMEX market open, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I like to trade indices more in this afternoon, but we'll see how gold is moving.
You know, just an idea, and you know, I'm just looking at the wider picture, but it almost seems like they're forming a 15-minute inverse head and shoulder, pending how this head forms and if there is a bounce on US30 there.
Also, this 15-minute candle is really interesting too. Like I'm in a sell on US30. 6 more minutes to go on this 15-minute candle, but it broke a low. If this red volume can on the 15 can come and close below this critical area, then maybe the next 15-minute candle and 30-minute candle 230 might have that push down. But I'm also selling into a lot of uptrend pressure. Like if you look at these indicators, these EMAs, I'm selling down into it. So it could reverse back up and maybe I potentially get stopped out. So it's coming right back up again. So we're barcoding red, green, Again, it can come up, could be a lower high and push right back down. So I got to watch these offers to see if they can come down. But that's why I have my stop loss above. I'm giving it room to breathe to come in here. And I have my stop loss above those 3 equal highs up there. And then again, where will it close? So right now it's a bullish pin bar. Again, the volume is concentrated right at this critical area. There's our close. Bullish pin bar with thin volume. They gap it up red. See if they can come down now. So remember yesterday we had that gapped up green candle and then it was a big red bearish candle coming down. So today very, very similar, but let's see if we can take out some lows and get more and more bigger red volume to close below this area. Okay, so this is that critical area right here. You can see 38,048. This is where the battle begins right here. And going into 230. So that bigger momentum candle, the new 30-minute candle coming in.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got 38,040 as the value area. So I would say 40 would be like your
right here, yeah. That's where the heat is, but they pulled it. So the heat is just on the sidelines here. But we'll see if it when it comes down. See how they just pulled that one? That one just got pulled down. Okay, but better break through this area. Then, yeah, so we're breaking right now. Now it's really going to start, okay? So we broke. Now, obviously, it's going to find some bids and pull back up. But then what we got to do is we got to trust that our offers will continue to come down and transact and kind of engulf those bids. Like you'll see if you see a little green bubble, those are the buyers. And then if you see like the red one, it's engulfing them. I kind of look here too at the over here where it's 10, 12. Let's see. Okay, so 12 now red, 10 green, 15 red. So they're transacting. Let's see if they can take it down. And if they do, let's see if we can take it all the way down to the VWAP. That would be ideal if it can get down there. Okay, that's a 10 pip move right now where we're at, but we're looking for maybe the bigger move to get 25 pips down into there.
Yep, you're testing value in about 2 points. This is where you kind of get the
and let's take a look also the 30-minute time frame. So the 30. Look at the green candle, the previous 30-minute candle, and the 30-minute candle that I'm trading right now, the red one. Will the 30-minute candle close below 50% of this green candle and maybe continue for the next 30 minutes? So this is going to be a situation where we'll see. We're right at the bottom of the 5 minutes, so it is right near the low. I'd like to see if they can flush it out like quickly right now. We still have 2 minutes to go. But remember, next candle, you'll see what these guys can do, okay? They might gap it up green and come all the way back up, and then maybe it gets absorbed and comes down. It could gap up green and come all the way back up. Like, we'll see how this thing will close. Remember this area here where we had wick, 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 wick. So I'm going to draw like a red line right here. And so let's see if we can close below that red line right there. And then maybe we'll continue to push down in the sell. But yeah, the sellers are controlling right now. Okay, so remember that 38,048? They have the control there. Look at, they got 12, 13 offers sitting there where it was all bids the entire time. So you see how kind of the depth of market switched right there momentarily. This thing can switch in a second. But right now, the sellers are occupying that area right now. So all we got to do is kind of take out some more bids. But here it is right near the end. Okay, so it came down. And now we're coming right back up. Where will the volume close? That's the important question. And how will it close? Remember the last 30 seconds? We'll see the momentum. Will the sellers continue to push it down and close near the low? Will they make a new low? Will the buyers bring it back up? Lots going on here. But some of you guys are already out already. I see Kobe. Kobe, you're already out. So that was a quick little scalp for you right there. You know, if you want those quick little 10 pip moves, we can look for those things all day. Like that was about a 12 pip move down to the bottom. I'm looking for the bigger move. I'm trying to hold a little longer. So the buyers are buying it up right near the end, and we're going into right now 230. Okay, so and then with that momentum coming up on the wick, they're probably going to open it up green, gap it up, and come up to test this red box again. Let's see. Okay, so opened green. Okay, they rejected it. The size of the wick, remember, if it was a shorter wick, they could have broken it and dropped it, but we still have to continue to come all the way down and fill the wick before we can continue to move. But this is 30-minute candle. Maybe we're getting that higher time frame supply pushing down. So let's see, it's coming down, but I don't want another higher low or equal low. I want this bottom to break and push down. And again, if you didn't get out at 12 pips, you have an opportunity now to get out of the market again. But I'm still holding this trade to see if it will break. See the equal lows where they brought it down? They brought it down very, very equal, and then it's coming right back up. So then we got to see if the offers can absorb again and come back down with this head that opened red. And then if it starts to move down with a new low, like down into here, then if it does that, I take my stop loss and then I go to a break even. But there, that equal low. So we gotta mark that down. They didn't break there.
Yep, that's the value area, man.
Yep. So what do we do in situations like that, Blair, when we come into that value area? Should we like take partial position down there and close out a trade, or what do you suggest?
It depends, you know, where you got into a trade, right? Like if you're up and above, if you're up 10 points, 15 points, knowing that the value area is a line in the sand, you can always place your break even SL, where it's a no trade win or loss. If they break it and impulsively break it down, then you're kind of, you know, you can act quickly, secure, because like those trades are tough to obviously gauge because the range right now is all chop, right? And like I said, if you understand the market's dynamics for the day, you may not get that that big move. So knowing that your range is very tight for the day, expect those 10, 15 pip accumulations on trades, right? Like you're not going to always get those big moves on every single day. So expect consolidation to be quick 5, 10, 15 pip scalps here and there. So always understand, like if you're using the Bookmap, if you're using volume profile, understand where the key value areas are, because those are lines in the sand. Above is bullish, below is bearish. Always look for that action to kind of be the you know, the gauge for the day, because if they're forming higher lows, then obviously bulls love that area so much they're going to keep it above. If it's a lower low where the value area is in the play, then it could be an opportunity for the bears to you know, counterpunch. But you know, it's again, day after day, everything's gonna be different. So I would say right now, take what you can, because I don't see anything drastic unless something changes near close to the power hour. I don't see anything going crazy today.
And you see where the volume is kind of concentrated, right at this area of value, the 38,000, 040, 050 psychological area. This is where it's trading sideways again, but the buyers are getting absorbed slowly here. What's up, Blair?
I was going to say, because today's value area is 3840, and yesterday's was at 38. Sorry, hold on here. I have it marked down. Sorry. Last Thursday's value area was 3855. So I would say between 40 and 55 is like your line in the sand zone. Whoever can control that 15 pip zone will win the temporary battle, I would say.
Yeah. Look at this, guys. Look at that order. 99. Look at 100. Look at that. Look at that transaction right there. So this is where it's getting interesting. This is where the battleground is. Did you see how 100 offers just came in the market there? and they got absorbed. Okay, so let's see now. Now we want to break this equal low or close near the low, so our next bar can potentially gap and drop. Or if it's going to be a green candle, it will be quickly absorbed by selling pressure right away. So here we go, guys. 20 seconds to go. Remember, momentum on the last 30 seconds. Let's see who has momentum. I'd like to see a penetration through here to break for a new low. See how they're holding this equal low area? Let's see, here it goes down. Okay, 10, 7, 6. Let's see how it will close. It's holding. Wow. Okay, so it closed. The green, you can see the green line right there. It's going to come up. If it comes up, 50% of the red bar. Can we at least hold 50% right there? Can they wick it down? Okay, so it got rejected so far. Still early. It's only 20 seconds in. But this is that area that we're watching here to see if it can get down and sell down to this VWAP and maybe trade into this liquidity down in here. Or if it's coming down here, we watch to see if this liquidity gets pulled out of the market. Then it could continue to sell down. I want this move to technically break here and maybe trade into this green box, but it's still holding here. So
yeah, I'm looking at SPX. It's below value area. But again, like the range is so tight, like you're not going to get anything substantially big until a key piece of structure breaks, right? And I don't think that's the day today. So just be mindful. Today is a very, very tight range.
does Nasdaq even have a pulse today?
Oh, I'm doing fine, man. I'm just following Amazon. Amazon's one of my key positions right now still too.
Okay, so we retested the red resistance. It came down, it dropped for 12 pips, coming right back up to test in here. See if it can hold, if it's going to trade in the consolidation. And
So
I got my stop loss up there just in case.
Yep. So now we reached the previous two value zones. The next one I have is 38095. So if it holds this 55 zone, you could probably get a little push here. Then the only reason why I brought this, to my attention earlier is because on the 15-minute, there's a potential inverse head and shoulder forming too. If you zoom out on the 15-minute on US30, you can kind of see it's forming if you just scale down. So you have the one shoulder right there with a little dip, then you have the head, which is today's bottom.
Yeah.
So it's forming a larger head, I think. So I'm curious to see if it does push up to 38095, what happens from there.
Okay, but guys, I have my stop loss like above these highs here. So I'll be watching this. Power hour is probably going to trade a lot better than this. Leading into Netflix. And they report right at 4 o'clock, guys. So right when the market closes, Netflix reports. So if you are trading or any open trades, just be careful. When power hour starts? In 20 minutes at 3 p.m. Eastern. The last hour of the day, 3 to 4 p.m.
I forgot the buses are canceled today. I gotta go pick up my daughter too. Right at 3:30. So by no means is this financial advice. This is just my humble opinion. So you know how SPY is 500 names, SPY 500. I think everybody's gonna be targeting 500. I'm waiting for like 494, 492 before I sell my stuff because I don't want to get burned in that correction.
Yeah. Okay, so 15 seconds to go. This is a big body candle, so I got to really respect this candle. It's coming into the zone. They rejected it, still lower high. Could it come down and close again with maybe a little bit red below here and they push it back down? But if it closes above here, I got to go through. Red to green, it might hold. Okay, so it closed above, red to green. And if it starts holding here, then it might come back up and take out that high, and my stop loss is up there. But ignited red, we'll see if it can continue maybe to push down in here and try to come down. If not, I got to get ready to maybe make a decision time. You know, it's a decision time for me.
But hey, this is the reality of the markets, right?
This is the reality of the markets. You know, it's
like Juan and I will always have different opinions, right? Like he'll be in a buy, I'll be in a sell, or vice versa. But that's just because we have different views on what we look at. So, but stop losses are your best friend. If you have one loss, big deal. You can make it up the next trade times 2. So
yeah, that's what we're trying to teach you guys. That we take losses just like you, but you got to understand that you will have to take a loss in a trade. I see that there's so many traders still trading with no stop loss and can never close the trade. They lose $20 and they still hold it, and they lose, then they're down 50, and then they're down 100. They're still holding it. After 2 days, they're down 300, and then they cannot get rid of it because now it's 1 week they've been holding that, and now they've lost half their account. So, like, I'm only in this trade. I gave it this much room to breathe, and if it doesn't come down here in that allotted time, when it comes up here, I'm going to close the trade. There's no point. I'm not going to hold this thing for the rest of the day or tomorrow or next week and just hope and pray that it will come down. I've given it more than enough room. It came down 12 pips. Number one, I didn't take out any profit there. That was my fault. I could have gone down to a break even, and I could have got stopped at a break even right there. But I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt that it's in this consolidated range, that it's not very volatile right now. So I don't see any crazy moves in the market, but yeah, it's just trading around in here. It could very well come red down here and continue to push down, but I've given it enough room to breathe. And if it doesn't go where I want it to go in this amount of area, then I'm going to close the trade and take a loss, and then I got to look to make up for it on another trade. But that's trading. You're going to have some wins, you're going to have some losses, but hopefully over time you'll have more wins than you do losses, and you just learn about account sizing. How much are you willing to risk on trades? Maybe when it's this type of volume, you trade maybe a little bit smaller. Then when you get actual really nice volume that's really trending, really moving nicely, you can now on that day increase your size a little bit that day and ride with the momentum of the market. Farquan, good question. Can you close now before hitting stop loss? Absolutely. Like, why are you even asking me this question? You can manipulate your own trade. Sometimes if I can close my trade right now, if I don't like it right now, I close. Instead of losing all the way up there, I can take a loss right there, cut my loss in half. That's risk management. So that goes for everybody. You don't need to hold the trade and wait for it to come and tap your stop loss. If you don't like the setup, then close it right now. You know, like this goes for any trade, not just this particular trade right now. When you're trading, if you give it, like, let's say for example 20 pips of a stop loss, and you don't like how it's reversing and you're down 7 pips and you want to close the trade. You just saved yourself 13 pips of drawdown, and now maybe you can get your 7 back. So that's called risk management. Like right now, if I don't like this, I can close this trade right now and I'll lose, but I won't lose as much as I will if it comes up there. So that's proper risk management. There's a lot of times where I get in trades and I close them early because I just don't like the way how they're looking. Do I trade ICT too? No, I don't even know what ICT is. I don't follow those things, guys.
I hate that
Like
stuff.
honestly, I'm not saying this, but I don't know honestly what it is. It's like a head and shoulder pattern, and they call the shoulders and the heads a BOS and a change of character. I just honestly I don't understand what it is. If someone can
It's
really explain
yeah,
it to
no.
me
No,
and
Ron,
I'll understand it, I will. But
it's just our old school names that are being redeveloped into a different program. That's all it is.
for the life of me, I don't really know what it is. I see it like a head and shoulder pattern, and when it breaks the shoulder, it's a break of structure, and when it breaks the neckline, it's a change of character. And it's lower lows and lower highs and liquidity grabs or in these red boxes, and I don't know. I'm confused with it.
Yeah, just stick to what we know. Like all the fair value gaps and imbalances, that those are just gaps, or like I don't know.
But everyone asks me, like,
Somebody,
why don't you learn this? I'm like, why do I need to learn it? I've learned how to trade on my own where I don't need to learn other things.
but
I don't
but
need
you're
other.
but you already know it. That's the thing.
I don't know. I don't know. It's great, guys. If
No,
you want to learn it, learn it. There's smart money concept, ICT, a million other things. Just focus and learn and move forward. But don't confuse yourself. I see some traders are confusing themselves with too many theories, too many concepts.
oh, sorry, my Russell's going here. I love the Russell. It's so volatile.
And also, this can happen where I get stopped out. Yes, it can come up there, grab some pending orders, and come back down. But I don't take that chance. Okay, so um, that's it. Close trade, loss. And yes, it can reverse back down, but I don't take that chance. I'm out. Okay, so I lost on that one. An L goes in the trading live. Okay, and now when I review this trade, maybe, at that 50% of that green candle, I should have scaled out 10, 12 pips. I didn't. That's going to be for review for later on.
And then like right now, it's current move. Um, I'm looking at the 38095 for some sort of resistance because that'll be the next value area on my book at least. Um, but again, like to Ron's point, we all have different views when it comes to any type of trade. Different areas, different aspects. They all work one way or another. You have to keep your thought process though consistent on your own setup. Your setup is what is going to give you the
The
consistency that
problem
you
here
need.
is, guys, I scalp. I scalp 1 minute. That's the problem here. Like, I scalp. So, like, when I'm trading by myself, I'm telling you guys the honest truth. I'm in and out of that trade. 10, 12 pips, I'm out. I can show you guys my MT4 of the last 100 trades, and they're basically like 10 pip moves. I'm trying to hold trades longer on these live calls to get a bigger move. And I'm trading with my stop loss. I'm showing you where it is. I get stopped out. But normally when I trade, I pip and dip 7 pips, 10 pips, 12 pips. I'm in and out of the markets. I try on these calls to hold these trades longer to look for a bigger move. Because when I get out at 10 pips, everyone's going to say, Ron, that's only 10 pips, not a big move. But that's why I'm trying my hardest to hold these. But I'm not gonna hold it and then allow a big bullish breakout or for it to close above here and then I flip this and then all of a sudden it's pumping through here. That's maximum loss, how much I'm willing to take on that trade. Even trying to hold, like I held that thing for a long time, almost half this call.
And you know what's funny though? If you go on like Twitter and you see all those like Instagram posts or how I held this for 100 pips, I guarantee those accounts are just fraud accounts. If you go actual Twitter, most people that I follow hold trades for like 5, 10 points because that's all you need. You find 5 of those trades, you made 25, 50 points right there, done easy, you're done for the day. So like Ron and I, we've been through enough that we know what our goals are. But we're trying to obviously encourage you all to get similar goals, but kind of understand that your setup is always going to be your key for consistency. So don't always follow everyone. Learn, understand, and just observe what's happening.
But I also, when I get out of the trade too, I watch what's going on. So I got out of the trade, I got stopped out, but I see if this comes down and they push this down and it's red down here, like that doesn't mean I'm not going to get back into the market. I could just watch this. I got out of the trade. Yes, I did lose there, but I could get right back in and watch what's going on. And now my next goal as a trader is to collect the money I just lost. So that's my next thing.
But in a non-revenging way.
In a non-revengeful way, it doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. But my next trade or my next couple trades are to recover this lost liquidity. Then when I get it back, I take a pause from the market and I review for the next possible. But I don't want to start digging a deep hole where you're revenge trading. We've all been through that. I've done that millions of times, where now you get pissed off, you revenge trade, and before you know it, you're now down 2 losses, a bigger loss, 3 losses. Now you gave back yesterday's profits because now you're getting stubborn and your ego, and it's just, don't worry. Trading, you take losses as a trader, everybody does, but this is what separates traders. Is some are more disciplined to just now accept the loss, it's okay, and review and come back. But I don't need to smash now a sell because I'm mad now. And we all have to learn that, because that is that'll destroy you as a trader. Mm-hmm. Or if you keep just adding positions, how many times do you do that? Where you're in a sell, and then it comes up there and you add another sell, and then it comes up and you're in 2 losses now, but you can't close them, then you add another sell. And you keep adding sells because you hope that it's going to go down at some point and you're going to recover your money, and then the market keeps pumping up for higher highs and higher lows, and you've blown an account. You've lost a phase where you don't need to trade like that. But yeah, it was my fault, guys. I marked that line right there, kind of, and that 50% of that green candle, and we traded 2 times in there, 2 times, those equal lows. Now, like I should, and now I'm looking back at it, and I should have accepted and taken out 10, 12 pips out of the market right there. And that's it. But I still keep this zone. Like at some point, if it comes back down here, that's my selling area. Like if it comes up like this, comes up, we broke down there, it dropped, it's coming back up, say maybe, and then it comes back down later. If it closes again below there and then retest that, then that's where maybe it will have enough volume to break that low again, and again come down and drop down into that green box. So that's for a later time for that pattern, but right now it's not happening. Now it came down red, coming back up green. Maybe if it closes above here, what are we, 8 minutes away from power hour? And then power hour could be a strong move. And same with Netflix. It's coming right back up to this hourly area. It's been consolidating this entire call in here. And Nasdaq might be getting ready to possibly break out bullish. Yeah, that's true too, Mattis. It's I stuck to my plan, so I'm happy that you brought that up. Yeah, it's a loss, but I stuck to my plan. I went in, like in the trade, I put my stop loss, and look at where I put my stop loss. I put my stop loss above those 3 highs. It got tested 1 time, it got rejected. Tested same spot, got rejected. Tested again, and it got rejected. So when I took that trade, I placed my stop above those 3 highs, and my take profit was to break down here and come down to the bigger green box. That was my trade plan, and I stuck to it. Whether it hit my stop loss or it would have came down to TP. But that's one thing. You can stick to your rules. Another thing is you can change it as the trade is changing. Someone said to me, Ron, can I close the trade like right here? And I said, yeah, absolutely you can. If you close it there, you lose. You still take a loss, but you still conserved amount for another trade. So you didn't necessarily have to take the full TP or the full stop loss up there. That's risk management. You'll know. Everybody needs to learn their own risk management. I know my risk management. Yoda knows his. Dave knows his. PK knows his. Shahab knows his. Carlos knows his, Borix knows his, Scotty knows his, Sarah knows hers. Like everybody at SST knows their own risk. I can't put my risk on you, or you guys, I use your risk on me. I can't. Like I can't trade with Yoda's risk. I can't trade with Dave's risk. I got to trade with my own risk. And that's enough for me to say the trade is invalid. And that's it. But I don't hold trades forever. That's one thing that you guys got to learn when you're trading with me. I don't hold trades forever. Like either if I'm taking profit or if I'm getting stopped out. That's why my live trading stats, I'll have probably more losses than a lot of live traders, because not too many live traders are trading 1, 3, 5 minute candles and trading with tight stops. So I trade with tight stops when I'm scalping. I could have opened up my stop loss and put it up here, and we could have been watching that come down for 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't do that. I still trade with a tight stop loss even as a scalper. So I'll have losses, but my wins will outweigh my losses. Now, see how it's closing above? So flip red to green. So if I was still holding that and I didn't adhere to my stop loss right there, now look at, if you're still holding, it could be going through to break out through here and continue to pump up. And now I would have just lost more and more. Blair, Patrick is asking, is Russell more volatile than SP 500?
The Russell and the Nasdaq are 1 and 2 when it comes to volatility. They'll alternate between the two, but those two are your most volatile indices when it comes to anything like world-based. S&P 500 is probably in the top 5. The Dow Jones is in the bottom 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, your Nas and Russell will be your most volatile. The Russell only because small caps are heavily impacted by a lot of the economic factors, especially interest rates. And right now it's getting a lot of more attention because it hasn't kind of correlated with the rest of the indices. So I still foresee 2024 being the year of small caps.
Mm-hmm. Do I think hedging is a good strategy? No. Hedging is not a good strategy for scalping, especially for scalping the markets. No. It's a terrible.
Hedging is only used if you're in a long position and you want to capitalize on a short-term trade.
Yes, like I've mentioned this, I'm in long in Apple since 2008. It's part of my retirement plan. So no matter what, I'm holding that for life. Okay, but when Apple is selling off, yes, my long position, I'm taking a little bit of a hit on it. But what I do to hedge that is I puts on, and then I buy puts. And I make money on options as Apple is coming down. And then with the money that I make off the puts by selling, and then I take that money and then I put it into my long position and I buy back and I continue to accumulate my long position. That's a way how you can hedge a position, the proper way of doing it. But to hedge while you're scalping CFDs and Forex, it's a terrible decision. Unless you're very disciplined and you know what you're doing, but I wouldn't recommend that.
All right, the Dow's 3 points away from my value area from I think yesterday.
Okay,
so
and then yeah, and 2 minutes to power hour, guys. So just
I was gonna say this is where you kind of get some resistance aligning with power hour 3 p.m. open time too. So let's see how it acts around here, because if it pops, there's another move that can be made, but again, I wouldn't be adding anything right now.
Sarah, very nice. You took some L's today and made it back in the session. Good. Now, Sarah, just review. Hopefully you're at break even or you're a little bit of ahead of the game, but that's a big win. Guys, when you're in drawdown on the day and you recover and you come back to break even or you're positive just by a little bit, take the time to understand that. That's a big win. I appreciate those days more than just having a day where you just get in the markets and you make some money and you're out. I appreciate those days that are tough, those tough days where you got to kind of struggle, and it really defines you as a trader. So that is respectable, Sarah, that you've overcame a very, very tough early day and you've recovered, and now just review and then know that you can handle those tough days. That's what will make you more of a better and successful trader in the long run. If you struggle with these type of days, guys, this goes for everybody. If you start off the day and you start off at a loss, how do you trade those days? Those are the days that can really destroy you as a trader. But if you overcome those days, that's where you're developing to be a really, really, really good trader. And that's what I had to learn. Was really tough for me was when I started the day and taking losses, and then you're down right away. And it's asking yourself, do I stop trading today and walk away, or is my goal to battle back and recover my losses? And that's a tough day to trade, because coming back from that shows how relentless you are, and how you can battle back as a trader. And we've all been there, every one of us. We've all been there. But if you can't trade those type of days and come back, and you keep revenge trading, keep making, then those are the days that you got to work on. That's what you have to work on. Not every single day you're going to wake up in the morning and get into trades and you're going to make your daily goal, and you're going to do that every single day. There's going to be days where you start off and you're going to go in the red. Can I break down US30 and power hour? Bruno, I got about 5 minutes and then I got to head out. I apologize, but I got to go grab my kids at school. And we started this call 15 minutes late due to the audio. Sorry, tomorrow, hopefully everything goes good. The day before it was the camera. Today it was the audio. Hopefully tomorrow it's nothing else.
Yep, so right now low resistance, as I mentioned, and you can tell like that area is going to be a key value area if they want to break it up to the upside. Probably room to run, but right now the range is between 38.55, 38.95, and 38.130. So you got an 80-point range, but it's hard to dictate it right now because they're right in the middle of that range, right? So,
guys, in today's trade, I took it off this one, Ventura. Okay, so this is, I was talking at the start of the call. This is a new broker that I'm using. I'm testing it out, Ventura, right here. If you want to test it out, demo. The execution wasn't that bad. Even when I got out of stop loss, it took me out right away. So execution speed was pretty good. Forex indices, metals, crypto here. And demo, guys, always demo. Test out any broker, anything you guys do. Test out with demos. If you do decide to go with this one, they do have a 100% match bonus. If you deposit $100, they'll match it. I like this because it uses MT4. That's all I use is MT4. So some brokers and prop firms don't use MT4 anymore. So some platforms are really, really bad and horrible and slow and hard to get used to. And I'm also trading on my mobile, so I do like that for that fact too. So Ventura, guys, that's what this one is. Yeah, so power hour might change, you know, it came up, and then red. Again, like if I'm gonna still trade, guys, I will be scalping. When I go pick up the kids, I get right on the 1 minute and I'm scalping on my mobile. So I have now my levels. Like that's why I do my analysis like with you guys this afternoon. And when I trade, I've got all my levels on my phone all mapped out. And then I just trade kind of the 1 minute, 5 minute volume, going into power hour. Maybe they're going to drop it, they're going to sell it off power hour. But again, watch for where and how volume will close. Will this red bar close below here, come back up and drop? This is that neckline. I tried right there. That was the sell I was in, and it came down, but unfortunately it came right back up, and now it could be coming back down with more and more volume, and maybe come all the way back down. So yes, so if I did hold with a higher stop loss, yeah, now it could be coming down. But that's not the name of the game. The name of the game is not to say, oh, if I would have had a higher stop loss, I would have made money, or it would have came back to break even. If we say that on every single trade, then we're all perfect traders. We got to come back to reality, where got to trade with a stop. Whether it's physical or mental stop, that's your decision. I trade with a mental stop loss. Okay, I made this clear from day one, 4 years ago, trading with you guys. I trade with a mental stop loss, but I'm very disciplined with it. I don't play games with it. I don't say here when it's coming up, I'm going to give it 5 more pips, or I'm going to give it 10 more. Then when it comes up here, I'm going to give it another 10. I don't do that. Either trade with a hard stop loss. If you're going to trade with a manual stop loss and you are your own boss of your stop loss, make sure you are very disciplined with it and you respect where with the area or the zone where you're watching. Okay. And Yoda, thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Come on these calls more often if you can. Next time we'll do SPX together.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm around.
Yep. Okay, guys. So everyone give a shout out to Yoda for coming on. Hit the like button. More likes will get Yoda on here more often. Okay. If we get 200 likes on here, we got to get Yoda on here for an SPX event. And he'll give us all the knowledge. But guys, after hours, okay, right now, power hour and after hours, Netflix, big name. If you guys are watching, keep an eye on it. I don't know if some of you guys listen to, like, look at the numbers, listen to the conference call, look at forward guidance. But I tend to look at those things. I know Yoda does. And tomorrow, big day in the market tomorrow. Tomorrow's big red folders starting from London. We've got French, German, British, manufacturing, all red folders starting in London at 3 a.m. Then we move into Bank of Canada, the overnight rates, 5% right now, psychological 5%. We'll see. I believe that they're going to hold it. I can't see them increasing. I can't see them.
They're going to hold.
They're going to hold, yeah.
They're going to hold.
It's like
the consensus is there'll probably be a 1 to 1.25% cut over 4 to 5 cuts in 2024, early 2025.
Yeah. We'll see. Election year. We'll see when it gets close to the elections. But I can't see anything tomorrow. I can't see them increasing. If they do, that's going to be really bad. And I can't see them decreasing it right now. They'll probably wait for the next meeting to decrease. And then we got Powell next week.
Americans.
Huh?
Our Canadian government was going to wait for the Americans.
Yeah. Okay, guys, everyone, have a good day. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your day today. Snipers in Zoom. PK will be doing a Tokyo session later tonight. And we'll be back. Shahab London, Dave Wall Street, Wednesday tomorrow, post with PK, and then I'll come on at the same time, 1 p.m. Hopefully we have no technical issues, okay? Thank you, guys. Thank you, Blair. Everyone, have a good day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to another live session of Stock Sniper Trading. My name is Dave, guys. My partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.